In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful as well. Our observations and our experiences, these are very valuable things. Why are why is it that these things are very valuable, very useful? Because we can learn, and we can learn and we can grow by learning from our own observations, by learning from our own experiences. The animals don't. Maybe they have very little ability to learn. The animals go on their instincts. The animals are controlled by their instincts. We, the human, we do have the instincts, but we do have the rational approaches. We have been created as a rational creature with the ability to learn, with the ability to learn a lot, to improve a lot, to grow a lot. These observations and experiences, even if apparently these look futile, actually these are not. You do think for a while that there are certain experiences or observations which were made years ago, several years ago, maybe few decades ago. But still, once we remember those observations or experiences, we start learning if we are interested in learning. So, really, learning is something not only important enough, rather, it is essential. If we don't like, if we don't want to live like animals, and we do want to live like the humans, and we are quite interested in growing, we are quite interested in growing. Let me tell you one thing with an absolute clarity, that this growth is not possible, or it is extremely sluggish, or there will be the growth and the development, but a very negligible one, not a considerable one at all, not a considerable one at all, if we are not interested in learning. There are people who did not grow, or who did grow but a very negligible quantity of it. This has only one explanation. This has only one explanation, and the one explanation is the only explanation is that they were not interested in learning. They were not interested in learning. Now look upon the mentally retarded people, the mentally retarded kids. These kids actually, these mentally retarded kids actually don't learn. It is very, very, very difficult for them to learn. And since it is very difficult to learn, it is equally difficult for them to grow, while the rest of the kids around them, they are learning and they are growing. So the growth has only one fuel. Learning is the growth of the fuel. Learning is the fuel of the growth. Growth is powered by learning. Growth is powered by learning. If a vehicle cannot go, cannot move without the fuel, how come? The growth takes place without learning. As simple as this one. The lesser we learn, the lesser our growth will be, and the more we learn, the more will be our growth. For that reason, we are taught, we are sent to schools, to educational institutions for the sake of learning. What is that learning, by the way? It is the learning we get by knowing what were the observations and what were the experiences of the other people, what were the observations and what were the experiences of the wise and intelligent people. So it is so important actually to learn from our own observations and to learn from our own experiences. I think so that, again repeating my sentence, that the growth is not possible without the learning, and the lesser or the slower our learning is, the slower our growth will be. And it is not the learning which, obviously learning the experiences or the observations of the other people, from the books, from the textbooks, it is very useful, very important indeed. But equally important is the learning from our own observations, equally important is the learning from our own experiences. So that is why I think it should be given a priority. It must not be kept at the back burner, rather, it should be kept at the forefront, because that is the sole way of growth and development. Thank you.